Parsons for boxing, social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store, being a little bit cautious, so slightly quieter because Jason's in the back doing some media. Delighted to be joined in New York with Andy Lee. Andy, how are you, mate?
Good, Charlie. How are you?
Yes, good, thank you. Let's talk about it. Big fight week, New York. Yesterday they done the face-off in Dumbo, Brooklyn. I was just chatting with you off camera. Jason seems dead up for this.
He is up for it. He's prepared as well as possible, physically and mentally. And at this stage of the game, it's all about, what's going on in his head and preparing him, because all the work is done. We've got maybe 2 sessions left, sharpen him up a little bit, rehearse what we usually do, but it's more about drilling him and making sure he's in the right place.
What do you make of Edgar Berlanga? Obviously everyone knows him as this guy who had those 16 first round KOs, and then the minute he sort of stepped up a little bit, he started to go the distance. What do you make of that?
I think it's a false sense of security he might have. So as soon as someone starts to test you a little bit, you start to doubt yourself. When the punches you used to knock people out with aren't knocking people out with, then you start to think, wow, maybe I'm not as strong as I was. But I think he's a good, hungry young fighter. He's aggressive, comes to fight, and we know what we're up against.
Jason said he feels much more comfortable now up at 168. He's allowed to sort of fill out a little bit more, I suppose, able to be happier throughout fight week as well. Do you think that's going to be something that makes a big change?
Yeah, I think he could continue at 160, but 168 it just gives him a little bit more. I mean, he is just a little bit more comfortable. I think, maybe, I don't know. I think he could still fight at 160 even, but he's happy at 168, so that's all that matters.
I suppose when the opportunity knocks, and it's an opportunity like this, I mean, if he does get the win here, the world is his oyster at 168.
That's it. Jason has now started his own promotional company. He manages fighters, and he could easily promote shows in Ireland and stay in the comfort zone, be a big fish in a small pond. But this opportunity came, and I just said, my advice to him was, if you win this fight, it changes your life. It'll change the trajectory of your life, and it's too good of an opportunity to turn down in terms of whatever about the money. Just where I'll put him in boxing if he wins.
Do you feel a loss here, not that you'll be looking at that, would maybe be the end of Jason's career?
It's always hard to say that for any fighter, but he should be beating Berlanga if he wants to be if he wants to challenge for a title again, he has to beat Berlanga. He knows what he has to do, and the good thing about it is it's in his hands. It's only one more fight. He's never really had a good, his best win probably on paper is Shane Mosley Jr. So Jason's never fulfilled his potential of coming out of the amateurs with all those great victories as an amateur. And he's been touted as a future world champion, but now he has to fulfill it. Now he has to show that he can do it.
Andy, on the world of boxing as a whole, I don't want to keep you for too long, but looks like Eubank Jr versus Conor Benn is back in the works. September 23rd is the aimed date in Abu Dhabi. Providing UK clearance, they may move the fight to London. But just your thoughts on the whole saga? It's been a long 16 months that we've been asking sort of about people at it for. Now it looks like the fight is going to happen. What's your take on that?
It's an exciting fight in the fight itself, and there's also the family history. So it's going to bring eyes to the sport. It's going to be a great build-up, and I don't know where I stand. With the failed drug test, and should it be going ahead? Same with Jarrell Miller potentially getting a fight with Anthony Joshua. Should he be rewarded for all those failed tests? But from boxing standpoint of view, from boxing, it's an excellent fight, an intriguing fight, and so is AJ and Miller if they actually get made.
Eddie said to me that he doesn't want to give Miller the opportunity. I think it was more Dimitri Salita coming out and saying that he was happy to offer as an opponent for AJ. the thing is, they're going to have to go a top 15 opponent. Dillian White now won't be the opponent. When you look at the top 15, it's been a lot of guys that AJ's already fought, or guys that have got fights in the works, your Wilders, your Ruizes, your Joyces, your Zhangs, etc. It doesn't leave many names that it could be.
Joseph Parker. They fought each other again, but it'll be a different fight this time.
How does that fight go?
It's still a 50-50 fight, I think.
Rumoured yesterday that it could be Adjit Kabayel. He's ranked in all of the governing bodies. I suppose, like I say, when there aren't loads to choose from and they may not want to go down the route of an opponent that Joshua's already fought, does it leave you with much choice?
No, it's even trying to find opponents for Joseph is tough. Because you've fought them already, or nobody knows them and they're quite dangerous, or people do know them and they're over the hill. And you get slated for fighting them, but Kabayel is a difficult fight for anybody. Tricky style.
How did Joshua Wilder go in December?
Whoever lands first, I think.
Do you think Joshua's sort of got the power that he used to have? I mean, sort of when AJ sort of rose to stardom in the sport, he was that big puncher, and of course he still is, but recently he started to box a little bit more. Is it landing first on Wilder?
Ooh. Listen, I wouldn't pay attention to his last. I wouldn't read too much into his last performance, Joshua. After a loss, I know I've seen it several times. I know from my own experience as a fighter. After your first loss, you always it wasn't his first loss, but after a loss, you're always hesitant. You always hold back a little bit, unsure of yourself. But given rounds and time in the ring, yeah, I think he's still a massive puncher, and I still think it's the first one because he's got better basics and fundamentals than Wilder. Wilder has that spring and punch, so yeah, I think whoever lands first.
Finally, from me, Tyson Fury. Apparently, a sort of big announcement imminent. Do you know? Were you able to shed any light?
No idea what it is. I don't know.
Andy, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much as always for your time. We look forward to seeing Jason Quigley on Saturday night.